Welcome back to another episode of Koined Insights. Today I am joined by marketing extraordinaire, co-founder of Amplify Studios, and soon-to-be author.
I like the last part.
Yeah,
Joel. Transitions.
Joel Nomdarkham. So Joel,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm tired. But tired in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, the marketer's life. But it's so rewarding. And, just being able to walk in your purpose and being able to actually do something you like.
Yeah.
And being able to just be steadfast about it. Yeah, I'm tired though.
You're tired though. So Joel, speaking of, are you a night owl or morning person?
Wow. Funny enough, I'm a morning person.
Really?
You can message me at 4 a.m. and actually answer. But 4 or 5, you're not going to get me. Yeah, man. The night,
You're
I'm
gone.
bed 10 o'clock, 9:30. On average, you see, I don't want to go into the sleeping now because I'm very passionate about like sleeping and the fact that I sleep for like 11 hours on average.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I think I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have well rested but I know you like to sleep and I appreciate that.
Yes.
But do you get a lot of sleep? That's
I
the
do.
next.
I do. Yeah, man, 11 hours average. I make time.
You make time,
man,
yeah.
It's carved out. Like I can't function without
Yeah.
knowing that I have at least a nap time on the table or I'm going to go to my bed early. Yeah. But it's never a challenge to wake up early though. Because I actually normally get up, but then I go back to sleep.
Okay, so morning person.
Morning person.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to go 10 years in the future or 10 years in the past.
Ooh. Wow.
Sorry about that.
No man, they me an icebreaker.
Sorry
I go 10 years in the past. 10 years ago, I would have been 20. And I feel I would have probably wrong to tell him for come up with like a new technology or innovation. So I could be rich by 30. Yeah. I think there are a couple lessons I've learned in the past 10 years that I definitely would go back 10 years ago to tell the younger me how to prepare, how to, I probably would have started a company when I was 20 as well. Yes. Yeah, man. I would have gone back.
I like that. So tell me something. Last question I'm going to ask you. Really simple. Wine or cocktails?
Cocktails.
Why?
Wine, just wine. It's just wine.
You want to look resident.
Little pineapple on the little strawberry, little syrup.
Yeah.
In the mix.
Yeah.
Little green, little red, orange. Yeah, man, cocktails. And then you have variety. I mean, you have variety with wine as well.
Yeah, but
Is it going to be red or white? Your cocktail can literally be 4 colors.
Fair. Okay, so tell me something now. Who is Joel? I'll make that question there, But who is Joel? For those who don't know, me know you.
Boy.
But
you see, and I have this with my friends, like all my friends that I meet. The day after I meet them, they're like, "Oh my God, you're always like this," And that goes to show that Joel is just unapologetic.
You are,
and just bold and just a very fair and I'd say hardworking individual.
You work
sometimes,
hard.
we work hard enough.
You work.
Even though I sleep enough, but
you work when you're awake.
but there's a good balance. I think I'm from very humble beginnings, and I find it that that has charted the way forward for me in terms of how I make decisions, how I take on opportunities, how I give opportunities, how I encourage others, how I interact with people, and that has been a really great mold to who I was back then and what I was able to do to make sure I'm actually steady to where I am today. So Joel is really a hardworking, unapologetic young man.
You are very bold. You are. No, you are.
And with them negative things, me just focused and steadfast about it.
So Joel, more about your beginnings. How is it? Like we see you now, we see you. We see you all over the place. We see how travel. We see how this, that. But like, as you mentioned, you had humble beginnings. Like, where did you start? Like, how did you even get into marketing?
It started very young, Now that I look at it, I started comedy enough in a primary school.
Believe
so
you.
Speech, JCDC speech
Yeah.
and drama, Media Festival.
Of course.
And for the first time in my life in grade 3, being able to speak in front of a crowd of thousands of people, that was a very defining moment for me in terms of becoming a public speaker. And then, of course, in becoming a public speaker, that provided the Red Bull. That provided product placement, unsponsored, not sponsored. That provided an opportunity for me to kind of really just grow and own into myself. We say not sponsored, but there's an opportunity here.
Brands.
Yes.
This could be you.
Sorry. You can't have marketers on a podcast. I want to do the product placement.
Yeah.
But no, man, that was an incredible welcome for me into understanding the importance of public speaking, but also setting the tone for where my interest would have morphed into. And going to festival, JCDC, I always give credit to JCDC because that's really where it started. Being in primary school, so when I primary school, I career, we don't know about a marketer.
We're literally having a conversation today. Yeah.
I'll solve the problem, but we'll talk about it later. But just being able to do that and being able to then realize, all right, then I like this field. I like speaking to people. I like experiencing new things, and then kind of defining that and growing it into journalism, which was my undergrad. And then moving to university now and realizing, okay, there's a whole world of marketing out there, and being able to seize that, strike a balance between journalism and marketing. And then that gave me an opportunity to do my master's in marketing to kind of just seal the deal. And then school done. I don't want no more school. And if doctorate, may I get some, I do enough good work. I must get an honorary doctorate somewhere, somehow, someday. Hint, hint, Karamak.
Joel, I think you're the first person I have interviewed so far that intentionally went into marketing. Everybody just kind of, it was probably like in university or after university that everybody was like, this is a thing I can do.
Yeah.
Like they probably identified that they had a little creativity or just different traits, different gifts and abilities. But because, as you said, during career day, they didn't really have a marketing booth. So we weren't really exposed to the fact that this is an actual career. So to hear that you actually were very intentional about your move is actually very encouraging. So yeah, guys, I'm happy that you're letting people know.
It is, and I'm grateful. And let me tell you why I'm grateful. When I went to university, at Carmack at the time, there were 2 programs. Well, more than 2 programs, but the 2 programs presented to me. I got accepted for journalism, and then I found out there was another program called Integrated Marketing Communication, which is the marketing side of it. And my lecturer at the time, Faye Ellington, who just, by the way, is celebrating 50 years in media, big up Auntie Faye, she told me I was about to switch over to IMC. And she said, Joel, with a journalism degree, you can literally go into any space and any field because there are some fundamentals you learned. But what I did was I stuck to journalism, and then by second year, when it was internship, because again, we do 2 internship. So I interned at a marketing firm, and I interned at not a media house. I was with a group at the time, and I was be able to do the communication side of things. I went 2 internship, I locked down in a second year. By time third year done, I on a contract with the company. I not done university yet, a freelance. But it was very intentional though, because I realized enough money did over there.
Yeah.
I get my first paycheck in a marketing. I said, no, man. This nice.
I'm not left
this. And I think that's really where the intention came from. But the intention wouldn't have happened if I didn't kind of speak it into being and did the work to make that intention possible and fruitful as well.
I love that. So something that I admire about you, Joel, was just getting to observe you as a leader.
Yes.
How you lead and care for your team. I really like your managerial styles.
Not everybody like it, you know.
Yeah.
Like my staff down to 0. Like it's me just around my own ship right now. Not everybody anybody can get it.
That's fair.
But I appreciate that because a lot of people have said that. One of them
very
is refreshing
right
now.
It's very refreshing how, as you said, like you encourage people, how you pour into people. Like you didn't even know me. You're just so encouraging. And I'm just like, wow. I not even know that we're from nowhere. It's nice, but like you.
Yeah, because you have to. You have to. You know, you know, what's interesting about meeting people and getting an understanding of what different interests are, you at some point, you would have must experience something along the line that you can pass on to somebody else. And you have a lot of people who are experienced, what we call them, experienced gremlins. When I'm experiencing something, I'm just a grab it. I don't know why nobody else get like a taste or nothing. If we go through something and I see where you are charting the same route, and I can say, you know what, do it that way here, you know, which can even make it better for you than me, then there's no issue with that. You know, and I've always held on to that principle. As you climb, bring others with you, and as you network as well, network across, network up, network down, because there's somewhere in there that's going to help you to package all the goals and aspirations that you have. I don't know where the help will come from. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to come from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the reasons why I always like pour positivity into people. Like, me don't know from Adam's there or nothing, you know, but me just know say positivity helps people.
It does.
And you don't know who may be having a specific day or going through a specific thought pattern, and that little 1 ounce of positivity will give them kind of, you know, build them and lift them spirits.
You care about people.
Yeah.
So on that note, tell me more about social impact. You're very big on social impact.
Yes.
Like once I hear social impact, I'm like, oh, Joel.
Yes.
It's something that Joel always talk about. Like, what is social impact, and like why is it so important to you, and why should it be more important to businesses?
It's a very critical juncture in business, because right now, in 2024, 2025, 2026, and I'm saying the years because it's going to become important, there's a balance between purpose and profitability that needs to be met by companies. What you have happening is, while technology and advancement is taking place, consumers are also becoming more aware, educated, and selective about different things that they do.
Fair.
And with that, consumers are now able to see through brands. You know, you see something, and if you don't, it's appear alignment now.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Everybody want aligned.
They're killing animals for the purse. That I kind of, you know, last year I never cared, but this year, because a celebrity say, and no, I don't want to purchase it. So consumers are now like, there's information, and there are so many things out there. People are becoming more conscious. You have consumers who are now like, yo, we're pro-black, we're not buy or support. Even if I go stay at one hotel, me now go on hotel with owned by what, me I go find a hotel with a black. So it's a whole different ball game. And that is now putting brands in a position where they need to think beyond just the profit and try to find ways where they can meet the consumers where they are. Consumers are not just looking to purchase something or participate in something. They're looking for what the brands are also doing, so that when I come and spend with you, the money is going somewhere else. So you find that a lot of brands have foundations or trust or something along that line. And you can also see through the ones that really intentional about it and the ones that aren't. But social impact overall, to me, I've kind of used it as a term to say it's a new currency, where you have US dollar and Jamaican dollar and yen. It's a currency that puts purpose at the forefront, that is still quantifiable in the longer scheme of things. And I'm very passionate about it, because in high school I was a part of Key Club, and primary school Builders Club, and that's a service organization. So I learned very early about caring, being our way of life, and about giving back. And when I did marketing, I realized that, wow, I enjoy the storytelling side of things. And how can I tell stories that actually still adds purpose to the brands that are part of it, but also telling stories in a way that positions the true benefit and impact of what's really taking place. And I've adopted and kind of just looked at social impact as a really core focal point for me. And because I see where regionally we are still trying to get there, it gives me an opportunity to just niche in on that and help brands to really tap into social impact as a way forward, and how to ensure that it's a part of their brand purpose.
So if I am thinking of starting a business, or I founded a company, maybe it's 2 to 5 years old, or maybe my company is 20 years old, but I'm just hearing about the social impact thing now, because maybe what worked for me 20 years ago, it's not going to work for me today, because as you said, the consumers, it has shifted, consumer behavior has shifted. What are some ways in which I can begin to start to implement this into my business? Like,
it even starts as simple as getting an intern, because that's your way of paying it forward. You're giving somebody an opportunity to gain experience and exposure, because we were all there once. We were there when we wanted that one shot of working somewhere or gaining some experience in a specific field. It starts as simple as giving an internship. It starts as simple as participating in a national day, whether it's a reading day, literacy month, and finding the time to give back in a way that at least put you on pause. Because as entrepreneurs and as business owners, we're in profit mode over time, every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes impact and the social impact and the non-profit side of things really give you an opportunity to just kind of sit back and just take some time to think about somebody else. That's really what social impact is. When you look at projects and initiatives that companies undertake, whether it's a national Labor Day, for example, is a day where a lot of companies and their staff members come together and they give back. And it's a day where you just don't think about, okay, where the shares them there today, where we stay with the profit, the products are move off the shelf. But we need more of those days. It shouldn't just be one. And you find it that your workforce and just how you think puts the impact side of things at the forefront every day. And what I try to tell a lot of companies that I work with is that once you have the purpose, the people and the profit will come.
Yeah.
They will come. Because your brand is being seen not just as a consumer item, but as somebody who is showing up. And there are a couple of brands who you can link certain things with. You think of Sagicor, you think of Sigma Run. Sigma Run, that's contributed millions of dollars to hospitals, education, sports. Over the years, over 20 years, they've been doing that. And to be able to build such a legacy over time is a great example of how you can really balance profit and purpose. If you don't have a Sigma Run 1 year, it's going to be weird.
It is.
And even when they had the pandemic, they still push and do it live. Online. So that's an example in terms of how we, whether it's just you're starting a small company or you're just starting out and you kind of want to put profit and purpose and profit and balance that, some small something you take. Very small. But you see, if I could take $100,000 when your cash flow goes so, I will give money, we're not saying for that, but we're saying just give back.
Give back.
If you ever go buy 5 books and donate during Read Across Jamaica Day, something. But we can't just live so.
You can't just take.
You can't just live so. You must can do something. My company just started, and I don't even talk about this much. But I've done quite a bit of projects and done some silent sponsorship. One of my colleagues, he's when he was pursuing his studies at Edna, he's deaf. He messaged me, I see that your company, we've worked with you before. I said, okay, you want a donation towards the project? Bam. A young girl reached out to me. She said, Joel, I want to get some headshots done. Sponsor.
Oh, yeah,
bam.
I saw that one. That was nice,
Camp Real, my friend Shani reached out to me. Shani tell me thanks every day. By the way, Shani is fantastic. She's like molding the next generation with creativity and stuff. And I'm going to say, boy, Shani, I not the time for helping manage the social, but I'm going to get somebody. And you know what that turned out to be? And my niece ended up getting the work.
Aww.
Yeah, she didn't even get some work, some experience before she come over to me. But I was able to play my part and contribute. To something. Me not no millions.
Yeah.
But I understand the importance of just paying it forward. My bills pay.
Yeah.
And sometimes we not ready,
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship dangerous sometimes. Sometimes we not ready.
Dangerous.
But play it forward. And if I'm able to do that as a small company, it's because I'm intentional about it. And as such, that take precedence.
That's so important. Thank you, Joel. I hope that people really start to think about that and think about the different ways in which they can impact, because I think we just think, we don't have the millions like a Sagicor or, NCB Foundation or JPS or whatever to do these things, but you can do what you can with what you have.
Absolutely.
So thank you for touching on that. I want to segue a bit. We were having this discussion earlier about CEOs and leaders of whether it's ministries, countries, companies, whatever, having dedicated people managing their socials.
Yes.
Because I think there was a point in time, as you said, consumer behavior has definitely shifted. There was a point in time where it wasn't really that important who was running a company, because it was just like, as long as they make profit and the shareholders are happy, it doesn't matter. But now we find that companies are spending money to get social media managers specifically for
the CEO,
for the CEOs, for the prime ministers. Some of them have done a really good job,
and some of them are terrible,
and some of them are not doing a good job. But then you still have some who are just like, do I really need to invest in this? What are your thoughts on that? I know you have many.
And it's something that I'm passionate about, because I try to do it as well. And it's something that I've also tried at previous companies I've worked at, and something I try with brands that I work with. Executive leadership, or executive branding as we call it, is very important. It's important to help build consumer trust. And it's also important because social media for businesses is becoming difficult. Organically, interest-wise, as well as the money you have to constantly spend to show up and reach consumers. It can be expensive. But one thing that will never fade is people's interest in people. And when you look at executive leadership, you find it as a great opportunity for these CEOs and these directors to actually just sit down and formulate a way to reach their target audience way beyond what is usual. You have executive leaders like a Ryan Roslansky from LinkedIn, who is a CEO. He has a podcast called The Path, where he interviews other world leaders.
I thought that's such a brilliant concept.
It is really good, and he's put together that program because others want to see him in a leadership role beyond just sending out an email or updating the company. And he's very involved. He literally just surprised them at the New York office or the California office or wherever, and just show up. And then you have regionally like Anthony Sapga, who is the group CEO for Ansamaka, which is based in Trinidad, and how he is able to use his social media platform. And I found that interesting because I was also one of the strategists behind that. And I got an opportunity to kind of just say, listen, you are an incredible person. Let's develop this brand strategy for you. And it is so useful now because even if there are news reports about the company, he's able to make a post or debunk it. Or where there are mergers and acquisitions, people have come to you first to see because people are interested. And when you look at the engagement rate between the actual business page and the leader page, it is a massive difference. And even locally, you look on a Don Webby, Grace Kennedy, group CEO, who over the years has just consistently been the face of the company. You know, and I'm sure if you look at the stats with Grace regular page and Don Webby, it's different. But guess what happened? The message is still going out. So I think the investment is key. And we're not saying that you need to have this very polished and produced way of communicating. People just want to hear from you. Instagram CEO, I'm just sitting in front of the camera and just give you the updates. You know what I mean?
And highlight
creatives and all of that. So it's a very important thing, and I think more companies need to do that and invest in it because it is a very powerful arm in getting information out, in getting updates out, in showcasing the work culture. That helps a lot as well. So employee and executive leadership and branding. Big up, by the way, Naomi Garrick. I follow her work and she does spend a lot of time with executives and working with them and helping them just build their brand from a PR standpoint because it's important. It's very important. And I think you don't even need to have a team to do this. You just need to understand and appreciate the importance of meeting your consumers where they are as well. You can't just be in a glass house and then only the time we see your big face when the profit go by 25%. But then when carelessness are gone,
you're gone.
And the milk powder not taste good, you can't come on camera and sort it out. You build trust by doing that. And I think more companies need to invest in it. And even us as small creatives as well, when we have a Koined, and with this, we have to show up as well. We have to show up because we want people to trust us. We want people to know who are these people behind this company. And that's a really key way in which you can continue to do that. So yeah, man, Tiki.
Yeah.
Employee brand,
Right, true.
leadership branding, important.
So similarly to how I guess, but it's the same thing. And people always say, you know, people do business with people that they know
Yeah.
and like. And even though I might not know Moseri personally, I follow him, and you know, after following somebody for a while, it's almost like you feel like you know them.
In your head.
Yeah, in your head.
best in your head,
But
yeah.
I'm literally. I remember the other day, I think I was at church, and there's this girl I follow on Instagram. Never met her. I just like her stuff. She likes my stuff. And I went, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. We hugged, and then but she walked off, and then my friend was standing beside me, and like, oh, like, you know her? I was just like, yeah. I was like, I mean, that's my first time meeting her in person.
Yes.
But like, I feel like I know her.
Yes.
And it earns you a kind of social currency.
Yes.
So so as you said, JMD, USD, social currency is becoming so much more important, I think, to consumers.
Yes.
These consumers, because there's so much choice nowadays, there's so many brands you can buy from. Like, why would I buy from your brand? Like, yeah, we can do all the, you know, fancy brand positioning and brand story and whatever, but like, I want to know the heart of your brand. Do your values align with mine? Why would I buy from you?
Exactly, and that's why Fenty does well, because Rihanna in the lingerie, and wait, name Beyonce new one
Sacred
does well because she wash her hair with the product, and you see it. So people trust people, and people will go with people who have created plausible reasons as to why this product works. And the best advocate you can find for a company rests in not only the members, but the person who is leading it.
Yeah.
So you have to make the investment.
Very, very good. I can't believe it, but we have to wind down, Joel. We have to wind down. Listen, I was worried going into today, because I was like, me and Joel will sit down and chat. This can't be a 2-hour podcast.
No.
So, I mean, we can always bring you back.
Okay, of course.
We'll bring you back.
Yes.
Season 2.
On the chat, we're planning on season 1 first. We're just season 2 already.
What would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Whoa.
Sorry about that.
The best piece of advice I've ever gotten is to, I think it is live unapologetically. Yeah. I've gotten quite a bit of advice, but that one, probably over the last 2 years or so, has really been a very good guiding force. And it's also from one of my, she my role model in my head. Bosma St. John, who is a marketing, probably the biggest global marketer in the world. She would have been, worked at Apple, Pepsi, Netflix. And that's just her mantra. And I see where even in what she does, how important that is. And also just personally, how important it is for me. Because if you live to feel sorry for yourself all the time, you're going to be in problems, because that means you're living for other people and not yourself. And the moment you are unapologetic about what suits you and the objectives and the goals where you have in your life and how you're going to achieve them one, nothing can hold you, And you walk, you depend on your own terms and conditions, but now factory reset, a year vision and a year goals. And you find that it becomes easier to handle like disappointments or even, let's say, personal failures. Because you bounce back quick.
Yeah.
You have a project where you want to do, or you start and you say, boy, I don't want to do this today. The first thing we cross enough people's mind is who them are going to disappoint. Me not business boy, yo. If I want to lay down, I'm nobody want to do the project, that I'm going to lay down.
You're going to
guess what
beat
happen?
me?
You're going to fight me. But guess what happen? I'll come with something stronger the next time because you're unapologetic and you're bold about it. That's one of the best pieces of advice I've gotten.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I hope everybody does the same.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Excitement.
Be authentic. A year life at the end of the day.
Can't your pocket.
People. Yeah. No, right? Thank you, Joel. Well, guys, unfortunately, we've come to the end of our episode. Thank you once again for listening to Koined Insights. Ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Koined Digital Studios. Make sure you follow up on Instagram at Koined Digital, and you can follow me at Savor the City,
Yeah.
where I share my love for good food and experiences.
Shameless love.
And you can also follow me at Chanel J. Harris on Instagram. Oh, on TikTok, I'm Chanel's TikTok. Yeah.
Nobody come on my TikTok,
Yeah.
please.
So,
But you can follow me on Instagram at Nomdarkham and on LinkedIn at Joel Nomdarkham. Do not come on my TikTok. The person you see here is not who you see on TikTok.
That's a different
Mess.
person.
Anyway, that's another conversation.
Follow Joel on TikTok,
No,
guys.
please.
You won't regret it. Thanks again for tuning into another episode. Until next time.